apologize for my voice. I'm got a bit of a sore throat, so bear with me. Hello everyone. I know I've been MIA for a while, but I have a huge hair announcement that I wanted to inform you guys about on my channel. I know I've been out of the picture for a while. I've been trying to get my business off the ground, and obviously things take longer than you plan sometimes. So that's kind of the reason why I haven't been on my channel for so many months. I'm just trying to get things together, and then just kind of life issues, dealing with family illnesses and things like that. So it's kind of taken a while for me to kind of do a video. It's just so hard for me to try to get the same kind of level of in-depth videos like I used to before. But I also wanted to share my announcement with you guys. I know those who have been following me for a while, you know that for the last 2.5 years or so, I've been really struggling with my hair. I've been experiencing so many issues. The rice water rinses have helped tremendously, but I've just also reached a point where I realized that I can't do anymore, and I don't have the time to invest to do anymore. I know about 2 years ago I made a video and a blog post on this about all the struggles I was dealing with my hair, and I told you guys that, hey, I think I might have to get a relaxer. Like, I just can't do this anymore. I kind of reached the end of my rope, and obviously ended up not doing that. But I share with you guys how I had been tempted multiple times to pick up the bio-relaxer at the beauty supply store. And when I didn't do that, I was tempted just to take some shears and just cut all my hair off. I mean, that's kind of the point that I had gotten to. It just was, I had reached the reality of my hair just taking too long to maintain, my hair having to go through too many steps to be able to get it to a place where it was healthy. And even though this is probably the healthiest my hair has been in a really long time, I'm expending too much time and too much effort dealing with my hair at the expense of me dealing with other things that matter more to me. And I think that's kind of the reason why I've kind of reached a point where I'm like, okay, enough is enough. When do you say that I've given it my best effort and move on? So that's kind of where I am. Again, the reason I didn't, in fact, the only thing that really stopped me from getting relaxer a couple of years ago was the fact that I was like, well, when I did have relaxed hair, I spent all my time, you know, trying to get it curly again, doing roller sets, doing things like that. So I never really wore my hair straight that much. I pretty much the whole time I was relaxed, spent most of it trying to give it, you know, some body and curl, etc. And that's why I kind of made a decision not to get a relaxer, even though it probably would have made my life easier at the time that I was kind of struggling with my hair. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that I waited, because my hair is stronger now, it is healthier now, it is in a better state than it would have been if I had relaxed it sooner. But at the same time, I think waiting those 2 years helped me to realize that the effort and level of time that it takes me to maintain and style my natural hair is becoming a little overwhelming and a little impractical for my busy lifestyle. And I know some people who are natural who expend, you know, 3 days just for their hair wash process. I've never been that kind of person who wants to spend that much time, and I realize some people like enjoy the kind of methodical, oh, this is taking me 3 to 4 days to wash and treat and do deep conditioning and all this stuff. That's not me. That's never been me. And honestly, I don't live the kind of lifestyle that allows me to be able to do that. Because I mean, 2 years ago when I was saying, oh, I've reached the end, that's because I was in grad school at the time, I was working at the time simultaneously. My mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer, so I was dealing with so much. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised I didn't end up relaxing my hair, because if I think of all the stuff I was dealing with, it certainly would have made my life easier not to have to deal with this, right? But I think I felt like I wanted to give it all I could to make sure that I really knew that I had done everything I could in terms of my natural hair journey. And so I think that coupled with the fact that I was like, well, I don't really wear my hair straight that much, is kind of the reason why I opted not to. So my solution now is to basically texturize my hair. I've been doing some research on it. I've been trying to decide. I feel like that's kind of a happy medium between the two, between being natural versus being relaxed. So I feel like that's going to be a better way for me to have more manageable hair, because I mean, the downside to having so many different hair textures, the downside to having such curly and kinky hair is that all these little strands like to intertwine around one another, and it's just too much. I mean, it's to the point where I feel like I'm spending more time, you know, the tangling, spending more time separating my strands, individual strands. You know, I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm spending so much time dealing with this than living my life, and that's no way to live. I mean, that is just. I remember one of my friends about 4 years ago. She had been natural significantly longer than me. I think at the time I was only like 2 years natural, or 2.5 years natural, something like that. And she had been natural for 4 or 5 years and was like, yeah, I made a decision to relax my hair. And at the time I was like, really? Like, why? You know, because at the time I was still pretty gung-ho about being natural. And she was just like, I just couldn't do it anymore. She was like, and at the time I didn't really understand because my hair was so much shorter. She was like, it's taking too much time, it's too much effort. I just decided I just couldn't. And I was like, 5 years natural and then you relax. But even though I didn't understand it, I respected it. Because I mean, hey, everyone's set of hair is different. And no one knows the trials and the tribulations you got to deal with more than you do. You know, and so even though I didn't completely comprehend it, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's the best decision for you, okay. I don't think I really understood it till my hair started getting longer and getting to the point where it was tangling so much that I realized, okay, I get it now. Especially if you have fine hair. Now my sister has really thick hair, and to her, when I say detangling, she's like, huh? Because she doesn't have to experience the same level of detangling that I do. Her hair basically never detangles. And a lot of times she's like, oh, I hate my hair, hair's so thick. And I'm like, it's a blessing. Be glad your hair is thick because this is the alternative. And so people, I think, that don't have super fine, fragile hair like I do, they don't get the issues that you have to deal with. And so for me, the decision is really a manageability issue and a time issue. You know, if I'm spending so much time doing this and not doing other things that are more valuable and more important to me, I feel like there's something wrong with that. I just wanted to say thank you guys for all of your support. Even 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago or so, when I was like, hey, I'm gonna relax my hair, I didn't have anyone coming out of the woodwork, you know, acting crazy. And I think it helps that from day one, when I started my blog, when I started my channel, I never started it as a natural hair blog, as a natural hair channel. That's the reason when you go to my blog, it says relaxed, transitioning, natural, beautiful, because for me, depending, you know, regardless of what kind of hair way you're wearing your hair, it's beautiful. And I think it's very much a personal choice. And I think regardless of the choice that you make, you can find a way to have peace with it. So, I mean, I think that you have to make the best decision for you. And that's gonna be different for every kind of person, depending on their lifestyle, their personal choices, the things they have to do in their daily schedule, their knowledge and know-how. Because I mean, I think for me, one of the things that really helped my hair to get healthy again was I started making my own hair products. I started DIYing pretty much everything, but the downside to that is it adds on another layer of time, right? Having to set aside an entire weekend so I could, you know, DIY leave-ins and hair oils and wood butters and all this kind of stuff, and it adds up. I mean, over a length of time, it starts to add up. So even though the things that we're doing, I felt like were improving the condition of my hair, it was decreasing the vivacity of my life, decreasing the ability that I had to be able to enjoy my life, just because it was just so time consuming. And I've kind of reached the end where I'm like, I can't invest any more time or effort. And so for me, yeah, it's gotten to the point where it's just overwhelming. But you guys have been with me throughout the entire journey, especially my blog visitors. Thank you. So I'll still keep my channel up. Again, I'm not sure how often I'll be able to add to it just because of everything going on in my world right now. But so I just wanted to thank all of you guys for supporting me throughout the entire process of all of my trials and triumphs, failures and defeats, frustrations and victories. I've made no bones about any of it. I mean, to me, I think in order for the process to be valuable, you have to share every aspect of it, and that's what I've tried to do. So even when something didn't work for me, I shared it because I thought, well, if I explain the reason why it didn't work for me, maybe someone else might say, hey, those are reasons I don't care about, or those are reasons that don't apply to me, and I can still utilize that product. And so I've tried to do as much as I can to try to share information, to keep this channel educational, because that's what I felt like was valuable to me when I first started my hair journey, people that were sharing the process. So again, I'll probably be texturizing my hair this weekend. I don't think I'm going to be able to like film it and all of that, just from a practical point of view. I want to keep my strands on my head, okay? But what I will try to do is at the end of the process, show you guys what it looks like. Even if I hate it, I'll show you guys what it looks like, at the very least, so you can see how it turned out. But yeah, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm headed. So my channel is probably going to start looking a little bit different moving forward when I do have the time to record some things and start getting back on my normal record schedule. All right, guys. Thanks for coming with me on this journey, and I look forward to sharing more things with you in the future. Bye for now.